All right.
I said, now, ladies.
Okay.
How... Oh, God.
What's better what to do?
From what bit?
Yeah. Hello, we're live, guys. We might as well just crack
Christ.
on.
Well, that's a...
We're trying a new setup. It's my fault. We're trying a new setup because I got a new camera and I'm trying to be fancy.
That's a peek behind the wall, that is, isn't it? It's a peek behind the wall. Well, let's do it properly then. Welcome. You are here. It is Budget Pedal Chap. You are here with your host. That's me. You are also here with some co-hosts. One of which is the man with the hair. It's Mr. Will Powell. Say hi, Will.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Will. That's a very vibrant T-shirt you're wearing.
It is. It is a it's a PlayStation one. I'm pretty sure. It's a subtle PlayStation one because it's just got the PlayStation colors and says since 1994.
It does look pretty effing 90s. So
yeah, a little bit, huh?
Well, I love it. Oh, I've got a T-shirt currently. You won't be able to see it at the moment, but it's got the Death Star and it's got Skywalkers.
Oh, okay.
Like the Walker Crisps logo.
I love it.
I love it. Pretty cool. We've avoided talking to him for long enough. We've got another host, the man, the one who's testing out his new camera. It is Mr. Lee. Say hi.
In all my 1080 glory. How are you doing?
Are those new headphones that you've got on? They look...
You've asked me this a few weeks in a row, you know. Yes, they were.
There you go then. Beautiful.
They're AKGs. I got these at a steal. They were B stock. I think I paid like £20 for them. They were supposed to be like, I don't know, 130 quid or something, and the box was damaged. I'm like, so what? I chucked the box away.
But yeah, very much so.
So yeah.
I mean, the ones that I used for my Helix, the box was damaged on those, but they were being sold as new. But they were relatively cheap anyway, and they sounded fantastic. So
these are amazing. You know the whole thing when someone uses new monitor headphones, because that's what these are, the monitors, and you go, oh my god, I've listened back to mixes and I can't believe I missed these things. But it had exactly that. I thought it was kind of like some sort of sales bullshit, and it wasn't. It was just bang on. So I'm listening back to like these things that I've recorded, and I'm like, oh dear.
Yeah. I didn't hear that weird humming sound. That horrible.
It was like high-end stuff, like sort of noises. So it was really nasty, really grating.
Here's a question then.
Oh.
And this is pertaining to my job later on. Are they open back or closed back?
Closed back.
Woo.
Closed back.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I don't use my new headphones for this, because they're open back, and the bleed into the microphone. It might be negligible, but I like a lovely crisp voice on my on my feed. So yes, let's do a podcast rather than geeking out about our various audio technologies.
Yeah, let's geek out about pedals instead.
Hang on a minute, that's exactly what we're here about?
Yeah,
we are not.
That's exact.
I can categorically say we're not here to geek out about headphones. Like, I'm putting a stop to that. I'm stamping that shit right out.
But audio technologies, surely pedals and guitars and amps come under audio technologies.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, but when we get into like the finer points of headphones, I think the game is lost. So.
Right. Okay. Let's ask our lovely viewers. Can you share this in a watch party, please? Because we're trying the technology out to see if it brings everyone to the same place or whether it messes it all up. And that includes you, William.
Yeah, I've just done it actually. Hey,
beautiful.
Look at that.
On the ball.
He's indeed.
Yeah, I try my best.
Good evening, Mr. Tipton. He said, evening, gentlemen. And Mr. Tate said, Lee looks like he's been hitting the bongs. Do you know what, Stu? It is about 1,000,000 degrees in my studio, so I probably look like I'm in a bong.
Absolutely.
Well, the white balance on your camera is a little bit off, so you do look a little bit Donald Trump skin tone right now on my screen. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, we had technical issues, as you saw on the intro. So yeah, sorry about that. But okay, look, let's do what you've been up to, because I've got some wicked stuff to share, and I really want to get around to them. But don't let me go first.
Why not?
You
Why
guys
not?
go first.
Why can't you go?
Because
Go on,
okay,
indulge.
Okay, right. So I've had 2 pedals in the last couple of weeks. One I should have spoken about in the last live stream, which I forgot because I forget.
That's it.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we all forget things. No, you know what it's like when you're running a live stream and trying to think of what you've been up to and you can't remember what you did yesterday. So one of our regular viewers, his name is Mr. Greedy Greg. Well, that's not his name, but that's his
Wow.
that's what he goes by on Facebook. And he has a pedal company called Greed Tone. Now they have Greg's background is he used to do sound engineering for the Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age. And he got into building amps because people wanted amps that sounded amazing even when you turned the volume down. So he made these really cool amps, these Greed Tone amps, and they were rated by Reverb, for instance, as it was Reverb, as one of the best amps they've ever used. For the main reason that it was basically like a JCM 800 style amp. I haven't tried them. But as you turn the volume down, you still got all the saturation because he was still driving the preamp valves, and you were still getting all that preamp gain, even as you turned it down. So it was the power amp that was turning down, and so it was still amp gain and high amp gain. You know, you can see these on some of the Queens of the Stone Age live shows and stuff like that. So that's really cool. Really, really good guy. And Greg is now making pedals. He's been making pedals for quite a long time, and he does some really cool stuff. He won't say you've got a wire like this cable tie here, and you've got a component, and then you've got another wire. What he doesn't do, he doesn't like attach this wire to the component and then another wire from it. What he'll do is he'll cut away a bit of the sheath on it, and he'll solder that to the component, earth it on that or go through that, and then use the same wire through, and he says it gives it a much better fidelity. Who am I to argue? You know, the guy, he's got one of the best sets of ears in the industry. You know, people from all over the industry go to him to get him to set up their studios and stuff like that. He knows what he's doing with, you know, with sound wise, and if he says it sounds better, let's be fair, it's going to sound better.
Okay, and what's this pedal that he's sent through to you?
So I've got another one that's going to be on the way at the moment. He's building that up, so we'll talk about that another time. That's the Overdrive, but the one he sent me that I have at the moment is the Rangemaster. It's called the Big Owl. There's a chap who he's affiliated with who is a session musician. His name is Alan something, I'm assuming, or Alex something, or whatever. And he had the original Dallas Rangemaster, was famous for using it. Greg made him a Rangemaster, and he's taken his Dallas Rangemaster off the loose board, and now he uses this.
I mean, do you fit a Dallas Rangemaster onto a board? Because they're
You do if you're in the big leagues, I assume.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so how are you getting on with that? Like, is it just a straight Rangemaster kind of an accurate representation of the Rangemaster, or has he done some tweaks to it?
Yeah, he's done some really cool tweaks to it. So where are we looking? There it is. Let me grab it. So you've got 3 knobs to it. You've got a gain which turns 2 ways. So at noon it's at 0, All the way to the left, it's at 1, and all the way to the right, it's at 2. If I hold that up there, I don't know if it will zoom in. It probably won't. I haven't got it set there. Let me bring it back. You can't see the 1s and the 0s because it's, they're hidden a little bit. It's got a volume on it, obviously. The 2 is... What's interesting, the gain is notched.
Okay.
Interesting.
Can you see it? If I turn it, I go... It moves to a very specific point.
Yeah.
And my favourite setting is all the way round on the 2. Every single notch is a different type of sound, a really different type of sound. And what I found is the bass control, which is the third knob on it. It really reacts like a bass, a gain control. So it seems to increase the gain, but just on the bass. It's a very peculiar feeling.
I can tell you why that happens.
Go on.
So the bass control will be before the overdriving part of the circuit. And what that's doing is it's cutting away a whole bunch of that signal from your original guitar sound before it hits the gain stage. And the reason it does that is to prevent it from flubbing out. So the less gain that you have, the less bass that you have pre that overdriving sound that you get out of that range master. So the bass control will be before the less gain you'll have, and the more bass is the more gain that you'll have, just based on the part of your signal that has the most energy is the low notes of your signal from a guitar, because the lower in frequency
you're pushing it,
is more
it's
powerful.
like having an EQ pedal before your drives.
Yeah, it's just like that. So if you did the same thing with any overdrive, is just pull off a whole load of the bass frequencies, you would notice that it changes the distortion character of the pedal. A lot of guitar pedal builders, I'm sure Tate can double this with me, a lot of guitar pedal builders do this before gain stages to make sure and to tailor them so they get the right sound out of it and it doesn't get too flubby and too distorted too early on.
Yeah, it tightens everything up.
Yeah, totally.
It's that makes a lot of sense. It's a really, really lovely pedal, and there's a dog. I've been putting it on almost everything I've been doing. It cleans up lovely, but one of my favourite things about it, if not there's no two ways about it. My favourite thing about it is how it stacks with other pedals. It just makes everything sound better. I've got other range masters, but nothing that sounds like this. Nothing comes close to what this pedal. It is utterly amazing. I play a lot of pedals.
Speaking of utterly amazing range masters, I'm gonna sneak in a tiny little bit of what I've been up to this week as well. Here, just because it ties in. Literally down here, right down here is a certain range master from a certain chap who's in the chat at the moment.
Oh, you've got a hot coals.
I got my hands on the hot coals.
Nice.
Oh yes, I still haven't had one of those. I tried one of those, I should say. I've usually get the benefit of trying out Stu stuff before it hits the shelves, but obviously with lockdown and all that sort of thing, I haven't touched it.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean, mine happened to be because Yeoman's from Chef Tone Effects, he bought one, and because of that, he says, "Hey, try this out." I went, okay. So yeah, that was literally 2 days ago. The No Talk All Tone was on the hot coals, and it is pretty much the most user friendly range master I think I've played. So it's basically you've got your one knob, which Stuart's. A lot of Stuart's pedals are based around that because you get the sound, don't you? You get the sound and then you just get more of it. So
isn't that just the Raise the Dead that does that?
Raise the Dead and the boost as well.
Raise the Dead.
Oh, I suppose the boost, yeah, but then it is a boost. But yeah, that makes sense. It's a JFET boost, isn't it? It's a beautiful boost. That is.
Indeed.
Beautiful.
You still got mine, actually. I think.
So yeah,
So you still got that boost of mine? Git.
So the more you turn it up, the more you're cooking the transistors, and you're getting that real kind of raucous and kind of classic rock grunt. Then you shove that in front of a Marshall style drive, and it just makes absolute sense. You just get those classic rock tones. But it's also so like you've got your standard Rangemaster mode, which is brilliant. But if you're at home in your bedroom playing, and you've got it on your standard Rangemaster mode, it does that real extreme scoop of the signal, and it takes away a lot of the bottom end and the top end, and gives you that kind of almost like a cocked wah mid hump. So Stuart's thought about that and thought, hang on, there's people out there who are going to go, oh, this is shit, because it accurately represents the Rangemaster sound, which works in a mix. So you flick it down, and then it brings what it sounds like is it brings original signal back into the mix. So you get all the bass and all the treble, but you still got the characteristic mid hump, which gives you all the kind of like musical harmonic feedback. But then with also the girth of the full guitar tone as well. So you've got like your bedroom switch, and then you've got your stage switch, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's sorry. When you're in mid sentence and your wife messages you and you think, oh no, it's okay. A lot of pedals are going for that sort of if you hit this, it's going to get you the same settings but attenuate it down sort of thing. I tell you, a company who did that really well is no, it won't. They make the AMA. Who makes the AMA reverb?
No idea.
And the Combatti, the Italian company.
Nope.
I know the guy's name as well, but I can't think of it.
Not a sausage of a clue, man. I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
couldn't tell you an Italian pedal company, let alone the one that makes the AMA reverb. Any help in the chat below? As Lee,
AC Noises.
Oh, there you go.
So on their normal free pedals, which I think they've stopped now because he's got into they're the company who have the reverb that has a bit crusher in it.
Okay.
And it's a lot better than it sounds. It's actually amazing. We should do a bit on that one day. So beautiful pedals as well. That particular pedal is like a slate grey, a sort of lighter than slate grey, with very pale pink knobs, and it looks really tasteful, really, really tasteful. Oh my god, my cat's in here and it's just frightening the life out of me.
Fair enough.
They have these sort of attenuator switch. Can I tell you about my other pedal that arrived?
You can. Sorry, I hijacked a little bit there, but
no, it's great. It really fitted in nicely, didn't it?
yeah.
Don't you have a JSA Rangemaster?
JSA don't do a Rangemaster. JSA do, or so previously JSA did the little treble booster, which it's a treble booster in the actual sense that it boosts treble. It's the tone control from a Klon pedal without, so it's just the tone stack without the buffer, without any of the extraneous bits. You're not going to it for gain, but it brightens up your signal in a really subtle, but you notice it when it's gone. So it's one of those quote unquote make gooder pedals.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How much Queen did you play when you got the Rangemaster?
Oh, plenty. Like,
Yeah.
Of course.
in fact, I didn't do any Queen inspired licks on the No Talk Auto. I like to steer away from copywritten material just in case.
Probably for the best, not gonna lie.
But every so often I'll sneak into like stuff that verges quite close to copywritten stuff to kind of hint at the tone that I'm going for.
Yeah, it's the bends, isn't it? and that beautiful low mids.
Yeah, I mean, what I was doing on the video was just kind of showing off the sheer sustain that you get from adding the Rangemaster to it. Because, like I say, you get that kind of harmonic, the harmonic and musical feedback, but at whatever volume you want, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just absolutely wonderful. All right, okay. So the other pedal I got is also equally as special. Listeners who have listened to us for some time, you're insane. But also, there is a pedal we spoke about a while back, and that's the Delay Llama Extreme. So we were blown away by the way that it did like pitch shifting, and it could do like arpeggios and stuff like that. But it's all analog, and the way it does it is, if you think about when you turn the time knob on a delay and it changes the pitch, so it goes wee. And I think that's what we might have called the episode wee. But it uses that and precise movements of the time and the and where the delay set in order to create these soundscapes. So it does the delay side of things, and it does all these tricks as well. It can do modulation. I've only played with it for a few minutes because I've been extremely busy, but I haven't had an experience with a delay, and this is just a delay in itself, without all the tricks that it does.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had an experience with a delay like that since the first time I plugged in a carbon copy, years and years and years ago. I love my DD 500, I really do, but it does a hell of a lot of things, and so does the Delay Llama Extreme. But when I put it in, some pedals are just pure music. And this is, I'm absolutely flabbergasted, because I thought I was just, when I first played the carbon copy, I was probably, I was a lot more naive about pedals than I am now, and it was probably just something I thought, oh wow, I've never heard anything this amazing before.
No.
And
to be fair,
you don't often get that feeling anymore.
The carbon copies, it's survived a long stretch of time with still being relevant. So I mean, there's got to be like reason for that.
Well, yeah, because it's a fucking awesome analog delay. That's why.
That's it. Yeah.
The thing is, with those circuits, you don't have to do anything sort of like over the top or like really, really different. You just have to make a really great analog delay, and that's really easy now because there's tons of chips that are available in the Bucket Brigade devices territory now that all of them can get a fabulous sound. If you try and make a good circuit out of it. Yeah.
And the fact that from the success of the carbon copy, they've then managed to do the carbon copy Bright and the carbon copy Deluxe as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. And Mini.
Oh, of course, yeah. They did launch one the other day.
Did they?
Yeah, not the other day. Last year at NAMM. Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say the other day.
Yeah. The time can, when you say the other day, that can be any amount of time that isn't today.
We are talking about delays.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. Bit delayed on that one.
And in our current climate as well, time has lost a lot of its meaning. So
100%.
I heard today that Christopher Eccleston's coming back as Doctor Who. Talking about like time travel.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
Isn't Jodie Whittaker? There's got to be a special with Jodie Whittaker or something, because she's not left.
Yeah. No, I've stopped watching it.
I mean, it is off the air. They have only done one season of it, so.
No, I think they did too.
No, there isn't a second season yet, is there?
I think they did too.
Can't remember.
I Do you know what? I've stopped watching it, and I need to
Yeah.
start watching.
I'm gonna find out now.
I always struggle. I always
IMDb.
struggle with a new Doctor. I always do. I didn't struggle with Matt. Matt was really good.
Not Matt Quine of the Threat Talk podcast, surely.
It comes out every generation.
Yeah.
It comes out and like the hangers on kind of look around him and
What
go,
the fuck am I doing here?
"Hi, Matt."
That would be brilliant. It would be good.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, no, they
Oh,
did have a
man.
second season. Sorry, I'm being an idiot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's cool. Trying to out sci-fi.
I'm not trying to out-cipher you. I think that must say something for the quality of the writing that it all blended into one mess of a season. Not gonna lie.
You leave Jodie alone.
No, I love
It's not
Jodie
Jodie.
Whittaker as a doctor. I just don't think the writing was that. Well, this is not a Doctor Who podcast. Let's talk about gear and shit.
No.
Right.
I really want to do a sci-fi podcast. I really
It would
do.
be fun.
Sci-fi of Doom.
Do it on your own time.
Yeah, man.
We're
Right.
here for you.
I've had a very fuzzy week this week.
Fuzzy.
Yes,
Do
because
tell.
I did a what does guitar effects pedals do, talking about the circuit and stuff
It.
of fuzz. I did that on TikTok, and that's gotten a good amount of views, as well as on Instagram, with Mr. Stuart Chait's Raise the Dead, which is quite good. And today, literally, like about an hour ago, I picked up my first big muff since I have stopped playing bass. So I used to have a bass big muff all the time, obviously, when I played bass. But now, as a guitarist, I was like, right, I think, trying out a couple fuzzes, let's get into that big muff territory. And I got up here a nice triangle big muff, which I'm very, very pleased with how much that sustains.
Indeed.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. So, I did have another little bit of guitar related news, which actually links into that a little
Okay.
bit.
Oh.
I've been trying to make the Boss OD 200 sound like other drives.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I saw this as well, yeah.
I sent you guys a few videos of this, and it sounds really close, doesn't it? Oh my god! So I've got a 1987 Proco Rat with the LM whatever you want to call it chip,
308, is it?
and I think it is. I think it might be 4 numbers, but you could be right. No, it's the 54558 is the chip I'm thinking of, which
It's
is
a
in the 2
2-3,
strings,
mate.
isn't it? Yeah, that's where the 4 numbers are. So yeah, 308.
Rookie.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounded identical. It's it reacted differently with different guitars, but I could get it with a small tweak. I could get it back again, and yeah, it was absolutely identical. And then I did it with an SD1, so an original Japanese SD1, sounded identical again. And then I did it with TS10, so like the just very much sought after Tube Screamer TS10, absolutely identical,
That's the
absolutely bang on.
the Sound Tank series, is it?
The what? Sorry.
The Sound Tank
TS10.
series, the black Ibanez pedals, yeah?
No. The TS10, the one that looks like this.
Oh, the more squarer one, the one that John Mayer uses. Yeah.
That's not a TS10.
No, I know it's not TS10, but it's from the same bloody series. So I'm holding up a GE10, which I just picked up at a boot fair or something, but it was so cheap. But so it goes like that. And so for the listener, it's the one that's got the offset pedal at the bottom, so it pushes the full bottom. So it's not an actual switch. You push the full bottom, but it's you push the full bottom, but it's offset slightly. You'd know it if you see it. Google it. God, I'm so hot. Are you guys boiling?
Yeah,
I'm
we may have to
absolutely
cut the
baking.
cast short because we've got all of our windows closed, and I'm sure anyone who is watching this has their windows open and a fan or AC going on. So yeah, we'll have to see how long we can last in these hot boxes.
This is an endurance podcast. This is.
Yeah, this is it. This is it.
Good evening, Mr. Rigby. So, listen, the reason that linked into what you were saying about the muffs is my next plan is to make it sound like a triangle
Ooh,
muff.
nice.
So I am going to be very interested to see what you think about it.
Yeah, sure.
Since you're doing this, looking into the
Yeah.
muffs, man.
Well,
You can't throw that comment out there, mate. You
looking
cannot.
into the muffs.
Ugh.
Pure smut on this podcast today. Well, the triangle.
Is that my t-shirt?
Yes, I did see the text on it earlier. I thought that
The
was
metal
great.
zone.
The triangle is quite more spluttery than I remember the bass Big Muffs being. But I was playing humbuckers into it, so I need to restring my Telecaster. As soon as I get that restrung, I'm going to try the Big Muff with that and see how much that is going to go on. I've also got access to. By access, I mean there's a guitar shop literally 2 minutes down the road, and I can go buy another Ram's head, get a Ram's head in, and A/B the two. I think that'll be quite interesting to see what the differences are between those two.
William,
Yes.
would you like to borrow this?
I can't. Oh, the muff letter. Hey, look at that. Yeah.
I mean,
never mind.
that would help you out, wouldn't it? Rather than
It would help me out. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
That's it. Like A/B is the case of just
Yeah.
learning a
I
rotary.
love that about the JHS pedals. I kind of wish he would do one for all of the Klon variations that seem to be out there.
But the problem is they'd be so subtle that people would be saying, I can't hear a difference in these. It's like,
Yeah.
no, honestly, this is the silver, this is the gold.
Yeah.
I've
Well,
thrown
there
in-
is a difference between the silver and the gold in terms of the circuit design. The silver
I
is.
think there's a difference between like the two of the same because I think that's one of the reasons he was glooping them is because like parts.
Yeah.
You know, just putting different parts in different
Yeah,
ones. A
must
lot
have
of
been.
them sound different. Yeah. Do you know what? You know, Mr. Flisher was listening last week. If you're listening again this week, Mr. Flisher, do us a favour. Send us over one, or I'll come and grab it from you. One of those J Rocket Klon clones because this OD 200's got a Klon setting on it as well, and I want to see how close it is.
the Archer.
Yes, they do a gold and silver one of him as well. So I'll be very because it was the one setting on it that I was least impressed about. So Mr. Rigby has said we're doing the sauna podcast, and I'll tell you what,
Oh my
mate, you're not
God!
wrong.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, by the end of this, you are going to experience some budget pedal boob sweat.
Holy crap!
Oh,
Man.
stay class.
Yeah. So, what else you been up to, Will?
Recently, a Rocket Complex launched a new EP. Hell yeah! It's called "But This Time with Passion." It's 4 tracks. One, obviously, previously released single, "Freshen Up," but 3 brand new tracks. And the one that's most popular from it, and the one that most people have written to me to say this song is amazing, is not one I thought it was going to be.
I saw this. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
To
Man.
Whom It May Concern is a angry customer yelling at staff at a shop, and if I could show you the video of the bit where, like, Lee knows which bit I'm on about, the bit in the middle of the song where I yell, like at the person, this fake person in the song. I did that all in one take, and I have the video footage of me doing it, and the intent and anger in my eyes is just like, holy shit! I didn't know I was capable of that.
Did you go full Karen?
I went absolutely 100% Karen, Super Saiyan Karen.
If I was to have named that song, I would have named it Karen in capitals with like a dot between every letter,
Yeah.
and like come up with some sort of like,
acronym
what
for it.
what it stood for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been good. But we thought To Whom It May Concern would be a bit more subtle, because that is a very Karen thing to do, is to have a
Or,
bad
I
experience.
want to speak to the manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to see your manager. Yeah. I think everyone can kind of gel with that song, because I think everyone has had a crap retail job in the past, and everyone has had that one customer who's done that to them.
I reckon Boris Johnson has for sure.
Yeah, probably, maybe. What has yelled? I am the customer at someone.
At the moment, all the customers are yelling at him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
So yeah, that record's
So,
out now.
yeah.
And we are working on the music video. It's the first time that we've not launched an EP with a music video on the same day, which has been it was really freeing, because it meant that we could focus on doing the release and taking a bit of time off to chill out and enjoy that process, rather than be like wearing ourselves thin and doing a music video at the same time. So we're doing it over a longer period. And I think that's probably better, as us as content creators. Like, you don't want to kind of splurge all in one go. It's good to be like, here's the music, and here's a music video, and here's talking about the lyrics, and do that all spread out over a couple months. So yeah, it's a lot more fun that way, I'd say.
Absolutely.
We've got a couple of comments, guys. If I could just refer to them before we speak to Mr. Budget Pedal Chef about what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Michael said he A-B'd and C'd an Archer, a soul food. So the Archer, as we discussed, is from
J-Rocket.
J-Rocket, thank you. The soul food is from Electro Harmonics, and a Chinese knockoff is from China of a clone, and the Archer one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not surprised by that though. Nathan. So we have replying to Nathan Tipton. Who wrote this though? Oh no, it is Nathan. Replying to Adam. Sorry. Not sure if I've seen this before, but I was playing. If I've asked this before, but I was playing my SE Schizoid the other day, so I'm guessing that's a PRS.
Yeah. Have the 21st Century Schizoid Man graphic on the front.
Oh, that's an awesome album cover art. And wondered if you have album artwork emblazoned on. If you could have album artwork emblazoned on your guitar, which would you pick? Which album would you have on your guitar if you could have an album cover on your guitar?
Right. Yeah, I think Nathan put this on his blog, and I really don't like graphics on guitars. I prefer them as flat colours.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cop.
So you had to.
I'm gonna cop out here, and I'm gonna say the Black Album.
Oh, come on.
That looked quite cool because it's got that little snake in, almost like Jack in the Box, like snake in the bottom. So yeah.
I'd rub away that with my arm, because it'd be like a matte finish with like a gloss bit, and I'd just rub it away so it's all gloss.
He likes rubbing it away, he does. You could have said the White Album.
I could have, yeah. Could have. I mean, there's the Blue Album by Weezer as well. But
I'm going to say probably something like Block Party Silent Alarm, which is going along the same things, where it's all white apart from a forest. And I could probably pass that off and tell someone, oh, the wood is just like damaged or diseased underneath the paint, and I thought it looked cool. Or something like that, where it wouldn't have any letters on it. I don't know. I'd be along the same lines as I think I prefer solid colors, though.
Yeah.
Like I remember seeing once a pick guard that you could get for a guitar that was the Dark Side of the Moon cover.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And that on a black Strat would probably be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
What do you mean probably?
Well, I mean, there is the
amazing.
tackiness of, like, you're definitely playing in a Pink Floyd cover band if you've got that guitar, you know?
You'd never want to do it to an expensive guitar, and for that reason I would go for a BC Rich Flying V style guitar with the album cover for Painkiller.
Okay.
By Judas Priest.
Well,
so that's got the angel riding a motorbike with circular saw wheels flying through the sky, death and destruction on the ground sort of thing. I love that album, and I love that art.
Thank
What you saying about Flying V's has reminded me of two things that would be really amazing to do with a Flying V type guitar. Is if you know ZZ Top legs, if you could have the V's. Sorry, I've got a peg here. If you've got the V's of the guitar as like the lady's legs, like going up like that, that would be pretty cool. And also, Chromeo do something like that as well, where they have their keyboard stands. They have them as ladies' legs wearing stilettos. I think that would be pretty. It would be pretty hilarious.
I mean, there's a bit in the Tenacious D movie, I think, Pick a Destiny, where Kyle Gass has got the double neck guitar, which is two ladies' legs.
Oh my god, yes. Of course someone's going to have done that already. Hell yeah.
Which, I mean, it is what it is. Not my personal choice for a guitar.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't play it every day either. I mean, it would be hilarious for someone like Steel Panther, who's a way more confident in that sort of character, you know?
Yeah.
Picture this. A primer grey Les Paul.
Yeah.
With Led Zeppelin 4.
Okay.
So it kind of blends into it.
Yeah. Is that the Burning? No, that's Led Zeppelin 1. That's the Burning Hindenburg, isn't it?
It's like the building that has. So you've got like a building. It's got a little picture on the wall, and the rest of the building is fallen down. So you've just got the wall. 4. Let
me see if I can find.
Yeah. So
that.
Also, another brilliant. Album.
Yeah.
Not a bad song on it.
That'd be pretty cool.
Going back to what Lee said, like any of the Judas Priest ones, like Screaming for Vengeance as well, with the like eagle, like the kind of like almost like motorcycle, like 70s motorcycle styled eagle swooping in.
Yeah.
It feels like Judas Priest kind of copied Iron Maiden and just did everything better.
Well, Iron Maiden had the whole Eddie thing, and it kind of tied them to that
vibe. Forever.
Yeah, forever. Yeah. Like the artwork from both bands, like none are bad. Like
no, I love Iron Maiden. I was only kidding.
Some of the Iron Maiden albums, the artwork is the best bit, because some of them are. They've had some really strong albums, but they've had some forgettable ones as well. But
I love the cover for Brave New World.
That's my favorite album of theirs.
Yeah, it's a good album, man. It's, my favourite album is really cheesy. It's Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
Number of the Beast.
Hit after hit, basically, isn't it? But...
Apart from Gangland, no one loves Gangland.
I'm so sad that modern music doesn't do albums justice anymore. What I mean by that is most people don't launch albums anymore.
No, it's single culture, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And as someone,
should we give 10 minutes?
Sorry, mate.
I was going to say, should we give 10 minutes to this Spotify conversation, because it links into what we're talking about?
We've got. I don't know about you, Lee, but we've got a podcast here. Like, it's just been.
It's all planned. That's the doodlings between the lines of someone's like textbook right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't mind,
Diary of a Madman.
We'll get on with this piece of.
Excuse me, class. We have things to go on here right now.
That's it.
Right. What about an RR5 with Diary of a Madman on it?
What? Sorry, what?
An RR5, Randy Rhoads Flying V, but with like Diary of a Madman or Bark at the Moon on it.
What, Randy Rhoads didn't play Bark at the Moon. That would be horrendously like inappropriate.
To be honest, all of this is horrendously inappropriate.
Right, let's get on with our I mean, because we've only got like 15 minutes left. Let's get on with our actual news. So we're doing what's called a news-scission this week. We've done it a couple of times on the.
I think they do cream for that, dude.
News-scission. All right, it's benign. You're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about a couple of things in the news, and then I've got some discussion topics based around them. Some of which have been sent in by our listeners via the medium of Instagram. So, I mean, some of them are tangentially related, but let's... Right, so Harley Benton, we know of those guys. We talked about them a couple of weeks ago, about the Ferris Blue single cut, which is... No, it's a double cut, isn't it? It's gaining a lot of traction. But they've also reworked their so the SC custom guitar. So they do like a couple of Les Paul shapes, but they do this SC custom was basically their take on the ESP Eclipse. So it's a slightly pointier horn. It's got 3 controls rather than your volume, tone. And what they've done to it now, they've sculpted the heel, so it's more in line with the kind of the ESP stuff. So I've got a couple of specs actually. So they've redesigned the neck joint to make it easier for the upper fret access. They've also they've changed the fretboard wood, and they've turned it to roasted Jatoba. So it's a roasted board, which is fantastic. It's quite a light board, so it looks relatively like rosewood, but you'll have all of that stability of the kind of the roasted materials. So they do them in a couple of different variants as well. So they do like your standard dual humbucker tunematic bridge. They also do like a dual P90 version, and they do a Floyd Rose version as well with a Floyd Rose 1000 bridge. If you were going to buy something like that, so set neck, flame tops, binding, I think they've got graphite nuts and Grover tuners as well. What would you think you'd be expecting to pay for that?
Based on
Harley Benton.
300-400 euros.
That'd be kind of market price for it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I think the ESP version, so the ESP EC 256, which is like the entry level, which does all of the same stuff that does. So it's the not bolt on version, the like binding and whatnot. That is 371.
Okay.
The Harley Benton ones, I think the P90 version is £198.
What?
Yeah. The humbucker version is slightly above that. I think it's 202. And then let me just check with this one. The one with the Floyd Rose is 270. So, I mean that's
the prices.
No one wants that one anyway.
The prices with the Harley Benton stuff always amaze me because they have the benefit of which a lot of small independent, like even pedal producers or guitar makers can't do, is they can buy in bulk, and this shows the power of bulk. Because if you talk about some of their speaker cabinets, they can sell you a V30 1x12 cabinet for cheaper than you can buy just the speaker on its own. And it's because they have that economy of scale, is they can turn to Celestion and say, you know what, guys, we're going to buy 250,000 of these, or however many units they decide to sell of a specific item. What's your best deal on that? And so Celestion could cut them a deal, and then they can turn it into some other product, or just pass them on and sell them, just because they have the power to buy in that big amount. It makes me jealous when I'm here designing a pedal or something like that, being like, cool, I might sell 5 of these. That would be nice.
Yeah, and that's it as well. Like, to sell those, you have to charge a certain amount to make that whole process worth doing for yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas, because Harley Benton do it on such a scale, they do pedals, they do guitars, they do like cabinets, they do amps, they do so much that their margin is minimal. So like I was saying, sorry, the ESP version is essentially like 150-200 quid more than that, pretty much. So I went and
can I give you a little bit more information on this, which might interest a certain small percentage of the listeners and viewers, obviously. What happens to the price of a guitar when you make it left-handed?
Nothing.
It goes up.
Nothing.
No, supply and
Normally-
demand, isn't
Yep.
it? Because they have to stock
exactly.
way less of them.
Yeah,
There's going to be way less demand. The manufacturers make less
Yep.
of them, so therefore each SKU is more expensive to produce.
And you have to rejig everything for it as well. So they do a left-handed version of this guitar as well, and it's £10 cheaper. So
That's crazy.
It's £198, which is the same
With the
price
P90.
as the P90 one, and this is the
Humbucker
this is with. So that's the Harley Benton SC Custom to LH Vintage Black.
there you go.
So LH obviously for left-handed, and that's double humbuckers. It does look like they've just like flipped the image because it's laying the other way. So maybe it is supposed to be the P91, but and they flipped the wrong image. But I'm left-handed people get left out a lot. No pun intended. And I just thought I'd add that in there.
Yeah, they do get left out. I remember Alex Miller of Xander Effects having a little rant about the choice that he has for instruments because he's left-handed. He was saying how like the choice is really, really limited, and even when you do find a guitar that you could possibly want to buy, it's an extra £50 at least on top of the right-handed version.
Yep.
So it's nice.
I'm not gonna lie. If you're learning guitar right now, or know someone who's learning, or are teaching people guitar, tell them for the love of God not to learn left-handed. It is not worth their time to go down that path. Because I have friends who are left-handed but play right-handed guitars just because of this reason.
Yeah.
I have a friend who plays right-handed guitars, but he turns them upside down. So they
Oh,
use
the
lowies at
Hendrix
the bottom.
method. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Fair.
Because his dad played right-handed, so he's a very good guitarist as well.
I've known left-hand guitarists who literally will just play it the other way around and not bother like resetting the nut and doing like not bother flicking the strings. They'll just play it upside down and the other way around. Yeah.
It's crazy. Right. Okay. So, should we? Is there any more to these? Because they do look wonderful. It basically is like a Les Paul without where the cutaway isn't quite as round as before. So it's not quite an ESP, but it's not far off of it. And you got the 3 controls rather than the 4 controls on the left on a Les Paul, and they're in a line.
Yeah, Lee.
That's it.
Favour and just have a look at an Eclipse now because they're much more similar than you think.
I had an Eclipse.
So we've got, like I said, the ESP one is 371. I also had a little bit of a look around to see kind of what else was available. Kind of that spec ish, and I saw that Ibanez do one called the ART, which is again really similar, like 3 controls, dual humbucker. So it's ART 120 QA, which is set neck, quilted maple top, 22 fret, whereas I think the Harley Benton's 24 and the SP are 24 maybe.
I like that. That's nice.
Yeah, they're not bad actually. I've played one of the earlier ones, which was it had Ibanez active pickups, and it was pretty cool. And that comes in at £250. So, like, Ibanez are actually competing there, which is I found that quite surprising that they were getting that close, kind of price wise.
That headstock's nice as well. It really suits.
Is it the one that kind of looks like a castle? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, it's the quilting on this is lovely because it's like a quilting burst, but so you got the quilt in the middle, and as it goes towards the outside, it kind of fades into a black burst.
Yeah.
It's really tasteful. Looks really nice, and it's got it looks like it's brushed chrome or brushed aluminium hardware. Oh, I really fancy that. Nice.
Do you want to do a little listen? Because I usually try and tie in the news and the discussion together, but I've taken a few of the guys from the Instagram today, So these ones are just shoehorned in. We've got Marcus Deluxe of Marcus Deluxe pedal boards.
Hey.
Yes, that's right, Marcus Deluxe of Marcus Deluxe pedal boards. His stuff's amazing. I've got one of the little mini boards down there, which I need to utilise. But he threw in a question a little bit earlier today. Right, you've got to create a 5-pedal board. So 5 pedals on a pedal board.
Okay.
But for your worst enemy.
I got one. All volume pedals.
Okay, so this is where
It
he's
can't be all the same.
they have
Okay.
to be all different. And I did ask him. I said, can I have like a metal zone, a Keeley modded metal zone, a Wampler modded metal zone, like a metal zone Wazacraft?
Yeah.
But no, that's not.
Okay, they have to be different pedals. All right.
They have to be different pedals.
Okay,
Yes.
I've got them.
Go on.
The all of the moom or whatever it is that the Chinese really crap budget pedals that you can buy
Hey.
off Amazon for
Hey,
$10.
Remember who you're talking to?
I do
yeah?
remember. Yeah, but Mr. PC has standards, even for being budget pedals. He has standards.
That's it.
I don't know if he does, to be
I
honest.
don't play no budget pedal. Yeah, it might be budget pedal chap, but I don't play no budget pedal crap.
Yeah, exactly. See, he's even got a phrase for it.
There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we need to stick a Miku on there
Yeah.
as the main drive tone.
Yeah.
I think you're like really wrong about this because let's face it, right? Mikus are worth their weight in gold now.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I'm giving this pedal board to them, they have to use it. They don't get to trade them away or sell them.
I'd be quite happy with this pedal board so far.
I've got another idea. I want pedals that every single one of them has an impedance mismatch, so that when you try and turn on more than one at a time, it just ruins your guitar tone.
Yeah, so we're gonna put like a standard Crybaby at the front, but then a fuzz right after it,
Yeah, absolutely.
so that it's just and make them really nice, like a really nice fuzz as well, so that it has the potential of being good, but it's just
It
sounding.
just won't be.
Yeah.
Oh, and then what I think we should do is instead of cables, we should have the straight, jack to jack little gold adapters. So there's always the chance that if they step on them, it snaps and breaks the pedals.
I've always wanted to see someone with like 5 pedals in a row and they press one pedal at one end and the rest of them kind of like come up.
Yeah. Oh God, it's awful to think about.
Mr. Michael Rigby, he said the Dan Electro Fab series, but do you know what? The Fish and Chips EQ off of that is one of the
they were pretty good.
best cheap EQs you can get.
And the Talkback was part of that series as well, and that's having a bit of a revival now. After a JHS episode went up, the original ones went for like 50 quid on eBay to like 300 quid. Thanks, Josh.
Sprinkling some money dust on it.
Josh did a video recently where he said about it. He just mentioned it and he went, "Not my problem," and it's not.
It's not.
He's not going to stop making
yeah.
videos.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Do you
not
know
his
what?
problem.
I've totally forgot to mention something else I've done, which is the release of the Legends of Fuzz players on Tonepedia, which is amazing. So if you want to go and try out those 4 Legend of Fuzz releases from JHS, pop over to Tonepedia or go over to JHS because they've got them on their websites as well.
Oh, nice,
on their website
dude.
as well, so you can try them out.
Where's
on
the
their,
muff?
on their website or
Let's
else.
try them off.
We've got the cheese balls. Is it called?
Jeez.
I think it's a big cheese or cheese balls or whatever. So we've got their version of that as well. So yeah, what else are we making a pedal board each?
I reckon we kind of finalise one for all of us. So for the wah and the first combo at the start, I'm gonna go with just your standard Crybaby because apparently the buffer in those is crap. But I'm going.
Yeah.
So just hear me out on this one. It might sound crazy to start off with, but I'll give you the logic. So I'm going to give this enemy an original Dallas Arbiter fuzz face. So for 2 reasons.
Oh.
So one, it's like ridiculously sized, and is just so cumbersome. So the pedal board is going to have to be pretty big to
Can we
accommodate.
just give them a regular one from that Dunlop still make? Because if you give them a vintage one, those will go for shitloads of money on eBay.
No. So what we said is they're not selling them. The reason I'm going for an original one as well.
Yeah.
How do they power them?
Batteries.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You can't have the accoutrements of your standard pedal board and everything's on a supply. You have to make sure. So it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be cumbersome. It's also gonna sound like absolute shit because it's the wire is in front of it.
Yeah.
So it's like that episode of Rick and Morty where the devil has that shop.
Yeah.
And it gives away the cursed items. Like, oh, you can have these boxing gloves, but you're going to be reliving the same fight in the 1940s, the title fight in the 1940s. It's exactly that. I'm giving them cursed items. It's almost a really nice gesture, but it's in the shittest possible way. What's this? MD? No, not MDs. Sorry. Is
that the adaptive distortion or something? I can't see it on my screen.
No, the adaptive distortion is actually pretty cool. This is the mega distortion, and
yeah.
I love Boss. I really do. I love Boss stuff. Oh, guess what?
What's that?
I've got the money put aside for the set of the Wazares.
Have you?
Nice.
Yes, I sold a guitar, and I've sold an acoustic guitar that I weren't using, which is a shame because I really loved it, but I weren't using it, so I sold it so I can get the Wazares.
Nice, dude.
I mean, that'll be awesome. It'll be really cool.
Yeah, man.
But yes, put this on the mega distortion.
Do
Do you know what this pedal is responsible for doing? Do you know what this pedal caused? This pedal was the last compact pedal that Boss made, and then they moved on to the Waza series. So they were like, we've gone off the edge of the ship now. We've all our good stuff is gone, and now we've made the mega distortion. We need to stop. They stopped, and then they went back to basics.
What about the
That's what this
DD3T?
caused.
That's now the last one.
No, because that's a reissue, isn't it?
Okay.
So right, you got the DD8.
Yeah,
I
DD8.
suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
loads in there. There's CE3X or whatever it is. The
chorus.
no,
they made the C2W.
the compact. The compressor with the
the blue compressor. Yeah.
the
Oh, the X stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going off what Matt Knight said, so that's what he told me.
Okay. Well, I think it's more important that being the moment in history when they made that and went, uh-oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
Let's make shit that people want again.
we need to rethink our lives.
Which we must petition.
Have I told you how I got that?
Huh?
Did I ever tell you how I ended up with that pedal?
No.
I bought a Metal Zone.
Right.
And the guy wouldn't let me buy the Metal Zone without taking that as well.
Yeah, all right.
That's a sales pitch, isn't it, I suppose?
Fair enough. Please take this off my
like,
hands. I don't want it
keep
anymore.
it. Just keep it. I don't want it. And he was like, no, you got to take it. You can't have that without this.
Oh, I would have left it on his driver as I was walking away.
Oh,
take that, you shit monster.
But
yeah.
I've been trying to sell that for ages and no one wants it, surprisingly.
Oh, yeah, I wonder why. Oh, sorry, go on, mate.
I'm just trying to get us through this 5-pedal thing. So we've got a wah, just a standard crappy crybaby. We've got an amazing fuzz pedal that will always sound shit. We've now got potentially the worst Boss drive.
Okay. Can I present one?
Go on.
I want a reverse polarity pedal, so we need some sort of like octave fuzz that is reverse polarity, but the case needs to not be labeled that is reverse polarity, so that every time they plug it in, it just blows up.
What about that?
Line 6.
That's reverse polarity and it's AC.
Fabulous. Absolutely. That's awful. Like having to deal with that power situation is the dumbest thing that you could possibly do.
Yeah.
It does actually run in DC, but it is an AC pedal. But the other ones of this 4 series, so this is the FM4, but the other ones don't have that facility.
Okay.
So so something like DL4 or the mod. Give them the overdrive version of it because that's terrible.
Can we not go for like one of the old whammies where they have a really specific power supply?
Oh yeah, whammy 4.
Yeah.
And if you don't use those power supplies, then you are screwed.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Whammy
Like,
4.
Yes.
if we want to fuck them over a bit more with stuff like that. I mean, I've got a believe it or not, a Damasio super. It's not called a super distortion. It's called like a very metal. It's essentially a
Very
rat.
metal.
Yeah, it's essentially a rat, and all of the knobs go up to 11. It's hilarious. But it's got like a weird 3.5mm jack input as the power.
Oh yeah, like the old Big Muff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really brilliant.
That's what the rats have. My Proco rat's got that.
Has it? Yeah.
Yep. So I have a pedal for you, which could be odd. This is probably one of the rarest pedals on earth because it didn't get anywhere, and I got sent a prototype, I guess. So this is a box it's a pedal with just a pedal switch. It has no knobs on it, and it has 2 wires with crocodile clips coming out.
Oh, I know what this does. Oh yeah.
Does nothing.
Yep. Well, you have to
It's-
put stuff in
so-
between the alligator clips, and you could put like a pickle or something in there, and it will like
Yeah.
ruin your signal for some reason if you want that.
Well, you'd think it would, but it needs to really attach to something really quite long for it to for the impedance to make a difference. And the
crocodile
the
clips
leads
don't
aren't
go
that long. The leads aren't long enough. So, you want to try it on a spring and stuff like that. I should try and mess around with this a little bit, but I haven't got time. But there's nothing in the box.
Oh right. Okay.
It would confuse people quite a lot if you put this on someone's board and you just go to it. Would
What is the
confuse
point
them.
of this? Yeah.
Yeah, and you tell them it was something amazing.
No, it's a pedal board for you, and I mean, you don't have to tell them shit.
Yeah.
You just kind of stare them down, thrust the pedal board into their arms, and then walk away. And what?
The trouble is, right, the guy who makes this is so cool. He is such a cool bloke. Eric, I haven't spoken to him in ages actually, but he's such a dude. But I just don't think this lived up to the expectations that he had.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I mean, it's worth experimenting, isn't it? It's worth.
It's like
experimenting.
the mini bar from Ranger.
Oh,
It's-
the
it's-
the jizz dumpster.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what it is. He does. Apparently, I found out he says that if you put any human fluids in there, you void the warranty.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like,
completely.
Yeah,
I saw that. It was on that pedal show.
yeah, it
wasn't
was. Yeah.
The like the moment that came out, like the videos for it came out on like in NAM, there was just within seconds it was coming it. I want to see jizz. How does my jizz sound? He's just like, fuck, man. Like, dudes are the worst.
Dudes are in fact the worst.
Indeed. Like mankind have done some great things.
Yeah.
There have
Totally.
been fantastic inventions and whatnot, but as a collective, dudes are the worst. Literally, I'm pissing it, coming it. I wonder what my shit sounds like. It's like, oh man, like this
Come
is.
on, guys.
Yeah,
Please stop.
yeah, absolutely. I think we're close to the hour, aren't we? We're pretty much there.
Oh yeah, we're about 10 minutes.
I don't want to subject us to any more really. But I'm going to give one really simple question to answer here from
Okay.
JSA Effects. Believe it or not,
All right.
how many pedals is too many?
Plus
No, it's n minus no.
N plus
sorry.
one.
Yeah, n plus 1 with n being how many pedals you currently have.
Indeed. Like I can't argue with it. I mean, I've got very little space left, but I still want more.
Why not, man? Do it.
Indeed. Right, so let's. I think we've conclusively come up with the answer there.
Yeah.
So wrap up the podcast is what we shall do.
Oh, thank God. This is the
Indeed.
point where you're about to just walk to the door of the sauna where you've been in there for way too long. You step outside and it's going to be glorious, glorious cold. It's what you want.
I really don't want to look at the chair behind me. I imagine there's a budget pedal shaped sweat patch. It's going to be horrible.
Oh God.
But hey ho. Right, so we've got Patreon. The Patreon people support us. Thank you, Patreon people. For as little as $2 a month, you can be one of those. A few of them were featured in the chat below. Mr. Bimpson was one of them. We've got Andrew Bimpson is one of our guys. Adam Yeomans of Shed Tone Effects. We've got Doug Crisp, 37 Effects. We've got Joseph Richardson of Joseph Richardson Guitarist at Instagram, or Abstraction Band. They've announced their lineup today, and it's looking awesome. I know a couple of the musicians, Joe being one of them, and I'm excited. It's going to be proggy, metally goodness.
I'm all about it.
We've got Hugh G. Rexha, who is there just to make us laugh. Fletcher Pickups, and we've got a new one, which is Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast. If you have not heard of the Tone Jerks podcast, I urge you to listen to them. They are pretty much the American counterpart to the Fretfield podcast. We are one and the same.
Maybe we should do a crossover.
Yeah, we should.
Maybe.
Maybe. I've got something coming out in the next couple of weeks, and I want the Fret Talk audience to pay attention to what we're going to be doing, because I want you guys to be on board. It's something I'm working with a pedal company on. Some we've actually mentioned tonight, and it's not Stu. So yes, it's going to be coming out very, very soon, and it's for a good cause, and I want you all to come in on it, because I think
It's not the minibar, is it?
I actually just spat over my keyboard then.
Okay.
I wonder how that would work. So yeah.
Oh dear. Right. So if you want to catch me online, it is Budget Pedal Chap at YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. On YouTube, it's the home to the No Talk All Tone series, which this week featured Stuart Tate's glorious range band.
We forgot to mention our YouTube video.
We have. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Lowell George has furnished us with an awesome game changer plasma pedal, dirty riff video, because he complained that the videos out there were all blues dads going, yeah, listen to how subtle this is, and you're like, no, it's fucking lightning. You should be playing the dirtiest riffs. So that's.
Do you know what? Someone, people have been talking about how Lowell's comes across, and I think he comes across like a wrestler from the 90s. Other people have said, "Oh, I recognise that guy from Faith No More." He is off his trolley, and he is one of our new presenters. Our next new presenter will be revealed next week, so next Wednesday. Mr. Budget Pedal Chap and I will also be making more videos, as William may pop one out as well, mightn't you, William?
Yes. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Into the Ranger pedal.
Yeah.
So yes, come and check out our new pedals. Our new pedals. Come and check out our new videos and our new presenters, and we've got some really cool stuff coming forward.
We have
into the Ranger pedal. So yep, we could make a series on our YouTube channel called Into the Ranger pedal.
Oh God.
Oh.
No.
I
don't want to be
the intro
involved.
to it is just like getting the pedal and cleaning it out,
Yeah.
like with a grossed out face. Oh,
No.
I so want to do that now.
Immediately no.
I may have to get in touch with Ranger, because this could be so much
cleaning it out and like goes like sniffing and that's the intro. Oh man, that would be horrible. But yeah, it would be brilliant. It would
Oh
be
dear.
brilliant.
So sorry, once again, I interrupted your outro, but I thought it was relevant this time
Indeed.
because we don't
Oh
want to
yeah,
forget
to talk about gross liquids going into a pedal, of course.
that. Yeah, and Lowell.
Will, you are a rocket complex pretty much everywhere, aren't you?
Yes,
So
a rocket
give
complex
us your
everywhere.
handle.
And especially this week, I would like you to go to any good music streaming service and look for our new record, but this time with passion. Yeah.
Indeed.
So you got to go to the streaming service with passion.
Yeah, and then
Is that what
and
you're
then do it
saying?
again, but this time with passion.
Indeed. Yes. Lee, running Pedalboards of Doom is not just your only thing. You do Tonepedia, which
I do.
you mentioned this last week. We had some JHS bombs dropped on there. So
We
go
have.
check those out.
That they are awesome. Them pedals are actually really cool. I was not anxious, but I was looking forward to trying them.
Anticipating.
And they were really cool.
Yeah.
Yes. And we should have a couple of really cool releases coming out this week as well. So keep an eye out because there's a couple of really nice things that you're gonna get to play with shortly.
Nice.
Interesting.
Stuff you may have been wondering around. So some of the stuff we've been working on is going to be answering questions for companies that they get asked quite a lot. So
Frequently,
so no more.
almost.
Yes, if you like. Which of these should I choose? So which option should I choose? So
All of them.
it's going to be cool.
That will put my
Yeah,
children through college. And then what a lovely place to end our podcast.
I'd say so.
So thank you so much to the people who joined us in the live chat this week, and thank you to all of you listeners who are listening in the podcast next week or now, depending on yes. So yes, from myself, Mr. Budget Pedal Chap, from Lee, Padabadabadoo, from Will with the hair,
I have hair.
complex. It will be a tatty bye, and good night for this week. Sit on it.
See
Goodbye.
ya.
all.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
Oh, it's mein Handy.